Are you ready to turn BC blue? Yes! Hey, we're going around the province and we're getting lots of people engaged just like this grassroots movement around the province. It is really remarkable to see. The energy is really something.
He's the best man to run the province, and I hope other people are seeing this as well, because it's obvious.
Every step you take, somebody's got their hand in your pocket taking money away from you.
A lot of people I've spoken to are struggling, whether it be buying groceries, getting their kids supplies for school.
But just the overall crime and the homelessness, and I just think he's going to help with change. I really feel it.
Advanced voting has already begun, and come Saturday, October 19th, British Columbians will be learning whether or not they'll be getting another NDP government or the first Conservative government the province has had in 100 years. I'm Drea Humphrey with Rebel News, and over this past long weekend, I went to a Conservative Party of BC rally in the Tri-City area for you. And what stood out to me was the Immigrant Canadian candidates who are running because they say the British Columbia that they came for and love is no longer what they signed up for. I'm going to show you some of their speeches, as well as their leader John Rusted's speeches and his policy commitments, and as well what some of the people who came to attend the rally had to say.
You know, what I really like about the BC Conservatives is the grassroots. You know, I'm a union man, train engineer. We've got business owners, we've got everyone here. We're here because we want to be here, and we want change and we want the province back. Well, we're getting close, everybody. Let's do it. Let's go out and vote. Let's get our friends and family out to vote.
Why was it important to show up at this Conservative event today?
I think they need the support of what's going on in this world today. They need a good Conservative Party in place to try and bring this country back on track. Since the last 9 years has been a disaster.
We have to show support for our grassroots people that are invoking change that we much need. We all know that British Columbia is in deep distress, and John Rustad has given me hope. And I don't know what to say. He's the best man to run the province, and I hope other people are seeing this as well, because it's obvious. Just get out and meet him, come to one of his rallies or talk to him.
It's so important for a change in our province. We need good people. This is a good versus evil war, I believe, that's on our hands. This is the good team. Rebel News is a good team. Ezra Levant's doing a great job. And I'm just very appreciative of the blue team. Get rid of NDP provincially. Get rid of Liberals federally, and let's get a good team going on.
Things need to change here in British Columbia. There's a lot of major issues going on, and I feel the BC Conservatives are best positioned to improve what the NDP has deteriorated in the last 7 years. And so it's important to show the candidates our support, because in the past it seems like a lot of people would not show support for Conservative movement, but now it's a lot more, I guess, acceptable. And we have to show it's mainstream now. It's not just a niche number of people.
We need more common sense in this country, I think. So I'm trying to bring that back.
Oh, well, I've been volunteering for the Conservative Party, so it would be natural I would be here. I've been knocking on doors, helping put up yard signs, doing phone calls today, so a variety of jobs.
Okay, and what's the feel when you're knocking on doors? What's the feedback like?
Good, actually, good. I mean, sometimes you get a lot of people not at home, so you don't know, but the people who are answering the doors, it's pretty positive.
Came 30 years ago for a better life, for myself, for my children. And you know what? I came for a dream. They call it the North American dream, but it's actually a North American, as in the whole continent. But you know what? I've watched that dream go away and diminish and get further away. Whether you are born in Canada or whether you are an immigrant, that dream is no longer there. We are all struggling. We are all looking for the better life. We don't have the services anymore. We don't have the schools that we needed to. I came here. One of the reasons and one of the things we chose Canada for was the education. That is not there anymore. We need to get our education to our children back.
Now we are using, it was we have decriminalization, right? So they allowed even people to go and do the drugs and all those in where we need to have people and take care of them. So we want to criminalize it. We don't want this, and all that is causing is bringing us the crime. Who feels like the crime has risen?
What's the biggest or most important election issue for you this time around?
I would say cost of living. A lot of people I've spoken to are struggling, whether it be buying groceries, getting their kids supplies for school because of inflation going on the last couple years after COVID. So cost of living and affordability.
So I have all sorts of body injuries. So a huge one is for the hospitals to just restructure the whole healthcare system. And number two is obviously housing.
It's just getting really harder and harder to live here. You know, it's everything, the food prices, the medical system, the school system. It's really difficult these days. So looking to get back to some, I don't know, we have to find ways to be able to enjoy life again. Yeah, really. I mean, it's kind of that sad, you know?
Yeah, there's quite a few things actually, and it's hard for me to identify because I'm still in shock that the drugs were allowed in the hospital.
Oh yeah, the crack pipe vending machines.
I think my brain's so stuck on that issue, but just the overall crime and the homelessness, and I just think he's going to help with change. I really feel it.
They just got to quit taxing everybody. They can't live under these circumstances. The healthcare system's broke down. Like, it's ridiculous what's going on in this country. Every step you take, somebody's got their hand in your pocket taking money away from you.
To get rid of a lot of the draconian measures that have been legislated in BC over the last couple of years. Bill 36, I think, is unacceptable. How are we going to get people to go in to be doctors when they have this somebody lording over them who's spreading misinformation? I mean, that's scary. Not to mention the Emergency Disasters Act, which is not really about helping people. It's just about putting more draconian laws and, I think, communist ways upon them to deal with the emergency. And there are many more.
At the end of the day, we have a choice. We have a choice to bring change in British Columbia. And there's never been a more ripe moment than right now. And that's why I'm running with John Rustad and the Conservative Party of BC to bring common sense change in British Columbia.
There's quite the smear campaign going on. A little smearing's pretty normal in political campaigns, but words like far right and intolerant and anti-vaxxer are going out against the Conservative Party. What do you make of all that?
It's dirty politics. Bottom line, they're just dirty politics, and the left has always been. When I see people sniping at each other, even when it was Trump and Camilla and any party, and I'm thinking, you're getting unfocused here. Really, this is not, I don't like you, you don't like me, so what? You need to help the people, the country here. And the government has to quit taking the money of hard-working citizens and giving it away, like throwing it in the water, like it's just like nothing, and help the people of Canada. And the smearing, that's just a low-life tactic that they do. I just think it's so corrupt in my view, what they do.
It's the typical way, isn't it? The thing you do is try to discredit your perceived adversary. And the way to do that, if people aren't paying attention and doing their own thought process, some of it might stick. When you throw mud on the wall, it may stick. But for people that have a brain, they should be able to look and see that these things are false. And I don't feel that way at all.
I think the Conservatives are going to clearly win at the end. People are coming to their senses slowly. The blue team has to win. We cannot have David Eby back. And as far as federally, Pierre Poilievre, he's going to landslide over Justin Trudeau.
Are you ready to turn BC blue? Yes! Hi, we're going around the province and we're getting lots of people engaged just like this, grassroots movement around the province. It is really remarkable to see. And the energy is really something. And I got to tell you just a quick little story here before we get into things. I was over having breakfast, or having actually lunch in Vancouver, a little pub, and there's two guys there that came in and they said they had been lining up at 8 o'clock in the morning on the first day of advanced polling to go out and vote for us. And they just could not wait to be able to cast their vote. We have seen record turnout now, day after day after day now on advanced polling, and I know exactly what that means. People are hungry for change. Are you guys wanting to see change? That's what we're going to be able to deliver for British Columbia. And it is, you look at what David Eby's doing and the damage it's doing. I mean, can anybody say that anything is better after 7 years? No! Absolutely nothing. And we've got people dying on our streets from crime, from drugs. Our healthcare system is collapsing. Our economy is in shambles. Our debt and deficit are in shambles. And he's saying, oh, but it's complicated. It's not complicated. All we have to do is get some common sense back into this government, get some common sense back into British Columbia.
If there was ever an exciting time in BC politics, it is now. That's why I hope you'll be joining me and my colleague Sheila Gunn-Reid, as well as special guests, on Saturday, October 19th at 7 p.m. PST for our special live stream coverage of the final hour of BC's 43rd election and its outcome. It's going to be a real good time and a nail-biting event. Let's do it together. Go to our special website called bcdecides.com. Give us your email so we can make sure we give you all the information for that exciting live stream. I'll see you then.